It's going to be a show.
Thinking,
Mhm.
spinning.
The stream is live. The stream is okie dokie.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Hello. I'm looking at okay. If you have not already, you need to take this podcast and you need to shove it where the sun don't. Okay. Save it for when the sun is shining and then watch it. Okay.
You can do that. You can
do
save
it.
You don't have to put it where the sun don't shine.
Well, I mean, it may
maybe just
tickle a little. Yeah, maybe put it.
Just like in your tool belt, it could be sticking out a little.
In your right, we could just stick out. You can see Mock's happy little face sticking out of your pocket. You put us in your pocket, put us in your tool belt, put us wherever. Put us in your purse, put us in your fanny pack, wherever you want to put us, and save us for later. But either way, just subscribe to this podcast if you haven't already. I don't know why you would do that.
And share it. Share it with all your besties.
Yeah, share it with your liberal friends. Piss them off. Do it. I double dog dare you. Mock is in an undisclosed location.
Oh, no, I can be disclosed.
Okay, she's disclosing it.
I am in the most precious little area called Harbor Island, which is in the Beaufort area. And so I'm in a little condo right now. If I look straight ahead, I'm looking at the ocean, and it's a beautiful sunrise, and it's just gorgeous, perfect weather here. And we're here just kind of doing house getting together stuff. So that's where I am. And I did not shower, and that's why you get what you get this morning. I did not sleep, and I'm sure a lot of you thank you, Brian. He's like, you look so beautiful this morning. Really? Maybe I should not ever shower.
She does look pretty this morning. It's like she gets out of bed, and yes, she is in low country, you guys. Low country.
Oh my gosh, Lori Stanley's going to be in Beaufort this afternoon. Well, hello. If you see me, wave, because we'll be all over the place.
And
today.
You know what? She's doing all of her cabinet stuff this morning. I'm like, oh, that's fun. She's like, no, it's not.
It's awful. House building that's a thing.
She hates
a process.
All the house building stuff, you guys.
Really quickly, point of personal privilege, if I may, because one of the Facebook insiders is actually going to be a neighbor of mine. And so, which is super exciting. And we got to meet them yesterday. So hello to Wanda. Hi, Wanda and Ted. Hi. It was great to meet you. So I don't know if she's watching today because I know she's heading on a trip to Hawaii, but if she's watching, then hello. It was really, really nice to meet you. And thank you for the hospitality. So anyway, yes, that's where I am. And reminder that there will not be a show on Wednesday because that's when we're heading back home. And so it's a very long drive and there will not be a show on Wednesday, but we'll be here today. We'll be here tomorrow and then back at normal
Thursday and Friday. Yep. Just taking a hiatus on Wednesday. That is it. Just Wednesday.
That is the plan.
Yes.
All right. Well, it's not going to be, we like to have fun on the show and we like to keep things as light as possible, but sometimes the world does not cooperate with our plans. And this weekend is one of those non-cooperative weekends. The news it just sucks right now, you guys, and there's no getting around it. And if you've not paid attention to the news over the weekend, then you should know that Israel is under attack in a way that they have not been in 50 years. And it's really, really bad. And it's there are, if you go out to the internet, especially Twitter or X, as it's now called, you are going to see some things that are going to just rock your world and really be disturbing. And those videos are not going to be shown on this program. So they're everywhere. And you can see them as much as you want to see them. But that's just one thing that we were like, we've got a lot to talk about when it comes to Israel, but we're not going to be sharing some of the most horrific videos that are out there because you guys just do that on your own and we'll discuss all of the things
if you choose to. Right.
Yeah. Because it's too much. Leah, oh my gosh. I'm so glad to hear from Leah. Leah, she says, I'm safe. I live up north. We are devastated. Only psychopaths do this. We are strong. We will win. Thank you all so much for your support and prayers. It is appreciated more than you know. Leah, man, it is so good to hear
God.
from you.
Yes, it is.
Whew. Okay. That's a relief to hear from Leah. Yeah. It's unspeakable what's happening. And so Hamas attacked Israel in a way that it's not a normal war. This is not a military might against military might. This is a terror organization against helpless, innocent civilians. There's no other way to describe what's happening. And the way that they came into Israel was a complete shock, first of all, and we'll get into the whole lack of preparedness by the U.S., by Israel, by everybody. The lack of intelligence is just, that's a whole story on its own. But the way that they came in, like hang gliders, and
I mean, it was like Red Dawn. It was literally
Yeah.
Red Dawn style, you guys. I mean, some of the videos that you can see, and I'm sure you guys saw a lot of them this weekend. I was just shocked by the imagery. It was so disturbing. You know, seeing young people at a music festival and the paratroopers coming in, and just I mean, it's something out of a movie. You know,
yeah,
a horrible. Right. It doesn't seem real at all. So just, you're right. The lack of preparedness, it is. And it makes you think, at least it made me think, how unprepared are we? Well, we've been talking about that a lot on our show. We're completely unprepared here. So, you know, the first thing I said to my husband this weekend was buy ammo, buy lots and lots of ammo. I don't know how many of you.
For real.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, you know, when you think about how open and porous our border is, how awful it's been for the past year, and how there's absolutely cells of terrorists in the people that have crossed, there's no question about that. It really makes me worried that there's going to be a terror attack within our own borders before this next election.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, I know that sounds like super fatalistic, but everybody needs to be head on a swivel, prepared, armed to the hilt, like
right.
And super, super aware of your surroundings. I mean, it's just you just have to be, you have to have that attitude now, which sucks, but that's the world that we live in.
And it's one of those things too, where, you know, our generation, really our parents' generation, saw some stuff. They lived through some stuff. They saw some stuff. They're built different, you know. And then our generation, you know, because I'm 52, you're a little bit, like a couple years older than me. We've seen a little bit of stuff. And then we saw our parents go through some stuff. Our kids have not seen anything.
Our kids have seen safe spaces and trigger warnings.
Right. That's what they've seen. Millennials and Gen Zers are pretty soft, you guys. They're pretty soft. Mm-hmm. They've not seen anything. So this weekend, just seeing coverage on the news, which, you know, was crap. The coverage on the news is complete crap. We'll also talk about that a little bit. Even seeing stuff, it is kind of like a movie for them, because they don't understand war. They don't understand this. They don't understand conflict. They just don't. I mean, because they are used to the safe spaces. They're just used to being in a safe space all the time. Yeah. So they don't understand this. And so it's going to be very interesting to see what happens over the next year, because we are different. We're built different than they are. I don't know. It's a whole new ball game for them.
Yeah, it absolutely, positively is. Really quick moment. I know this is a pain, but we got to keep the lights on. So we're going to talk about our sponsors today, even though it feels like that's not like the best thing
appropriate,
to do.
Right.
We still got to do it, you guys, because, and one of the people that we have talked to recently, ourselves, we each had a consultation with Zach Abraham from Bulwark Capital Management about risk management of our financial portfolios. This is something that we would recommend everybody do, even if you have a solid financial planner on your team right now. If you've got your 401ks, you've got your IRAs, you've got everything sorted out. Zach is at least a person who can tell you, are you on the right track, and what might he advise you to do differently? And that's what was really helpful for me, is to just hear, well, here's what I've got going on right now. What do you think about that? And that's one thing that Bulwark Capital Management does really, really well, is that they're constantly assessing risk and reacting to it. They don't just dump you into a portfolio based on your age and then forget about you. They are constantly looking at the markets and how they're affecting your specific portfolio. Their risk management is like nobody else's. And so if you would like to learn more, you can always go to knowyourriskradio.com, or you can call 866-779-RISK. When you do that, you're going to get a free copy of his Common Sense Investing Guide. So again, check them out at knowyourriskradio.com. They are phenomenal when it comes to financial planning. All right, let's get into some. Let me just make sure. I did want to mention a couple things that's happening right now. The U.S. has deployed our largest warship. This is the USS Gerald Ford. It's the largest aircraft carrier that we have, and it is out there making a statement. Now, Hamas is like, we don't care about your warship, and it's not going to stop us from doing what we're doing. Hezbollah, I think, as we mentioned, also shooting rockets in from Lebanon. It is becoming a full-scale war. And if there is anybody out there who doesn't think that Iran is backing this and helping this and making this all happen,
you're an idiot.
Crazy.
Right. Exactly. And we'll get to that too. But I mean, we just gave them was it $6 billion?
Yeah. Oh my God.
We'll get to $6 billion. Yeah, we'll totally get to that. But it's like, here's a check for $6 billion.
It's
but we're gonna use it for food. Okay.
Right. It hasn't been spent yet, you guys. It's fine.
No, it's fine.
The other thing is that Americans have been killed. So there were, at least the last I saw, and this could have been updated even yet early this morning. The last I saw, there were at least 4 Americans that we know that are dead, and some that are hostages. So this is absolutely affecting us and our countries. There's no question about that. And so, we're going to show like some of the support of Palestinian celebrations that were taking place across our own country, which is disgusting on every level. But when we do that, I think the most important question to ask yourself when you're faced with people who are asking you, well, what about Palestinians? What about, because you're always going to have people, and we've got an example of this with Mehdi Hassan to show you. There's always going to be people who are going to portray and try to garner the sympathy for Palestinians. What you have to remember is that when you ask yourself the question, what would Israel do if they could do anything that they wanted to Palestinians? What would they do? And then what would Hamas do? What would Hamas, Hezbollah do if they could do anything they wanted? The answer will always be Israel would have immediate peace, and Hamas and Hezbollah and others, Iran, all of these other people would immediately wipe Israel off the map. That is the difference here. There is no moral equivalency. There is none. And so people need to remember that, because nope, I am getting rid of that clown. Bye, Mohammed. You are not welcome.
Bye-bye.
My God. So I don't even know how somebody says that there is moral equivalency there. There just isn't. Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, we're going to get a ton in here. Yeah. It's like, oh my God, I want to wipe somebody off the planet is not the same as I just want peace.
I just want to live.
How is that the same? Yeah.
Well, and it's because the most radical factions of that religion, of Islam, they just have absolutely no tolerance for any other belief system than their own. And their belief system, the most radical version of it, is completely insane.
Yeah,
it's insane towards women. It's insane, period.
As is evidenced by the fact that they're dragging women and children out and kidnapping and killing them. I mean, it's not that. I'm sorry, but that's animalistic. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Yeah. I mean, just look at some of the video footage that you saw over the weekend. We are not the same.
No, we are not. We are not the same. And it's disgusting because Hamas will actually build their cells, their organizations in the midst of well-populated, apartment buildings full of civilians. So their constant refrain is, look, Israel just blew up a whole apartment building, killing civilians. Well, it's because that's where you decided to have your terror operation based from. And so Israel does its best to look for and seek out and destroy military targets. Whereas, as you saw from them paragliding into a freaking civilian rave, they are looking specifically for civilians. So again, there is no moral equivalency here. None. Zero. Okay. And also, I just have to mention, because I wrote this down because I couldn't believe it. There are idiots like Kylie freaking Jenner who
Can you say that again? Wait, you cut out. Is there idiots like who? You cut out from Kylie Jenner. Yes.
Yes. Idiots like Kylie Jenner, whose immediate thought was correct. She posted, I don't know what she posted exactly, whether it was the Israeli flag, whether it was just a statement that said we stand with Israel, whatever it was.
Right. Mm-hmm.
She immediately got blasted because, of course she did. And what did she do? She backed down. She immediately deleted the post.
Oh
and
my
this
God.
is the problem. This is the time when everybody has to stand the tallest and the most fearless and unafraid. And she failed on every measure.
And what did she do when she backed down? Like, what did she apologize?
She deleted it. She was like, oh no, people are mad at me. So therefore I better delete the right thing. God, and this is the thing. Like, if you don't know what you're talking about, just shut up, right? Like, just don't say anything at all. If you're going to be that scared into a corner because your fans are mad at you, then just go away. My God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Stand for something or just fall for anything. Exactly. Just shut up. Just STFU.
Yes, exactly. All right, let's get into, so the first video you're going to see is of an IDF spokesperson, like an international IDF spokesperson talking about the events on the ground. Here he is.
And they didn't go for military targets. They went for civilians. They went for grandmothers, children, babies. This event is still unfolding. The numbers are unprecedented. We are going to respond very, very severely to this. In the upcoming days, it's going to be a long round. We are going to do whatever is needed. The style of attack is barbaric. I mean, the visuals are ISO visuals. In a way, this is our 9/11. This is our 9/11. And, even more than that, I mean, it wasn't crashing into a building. It's also mutilating and attacking a party that was happening around the Gaza Strip, a nature party, attacking civilians, kidnapping a grandmother. A lot of my friends, everybody nearly in Israel is affected by this, by someone they know, missing people, soldiers that have been killed. There's been real stories of heroes that engage with terrorists, and we're going to respond very, very severely to this.
Good.
And people have been kidnapped. Like, one of the things that obviously the Israelis are really good at is rescue. So hopefully they'll get in and they'll rescue some of these people who have been kidnapped. The thing that worries me, though, is that they didn't know it was coming.
Right.
That bothers me. I mean, I'm not super surprised that we didn't know anything, that we wouldn't have known anything, because our intelligence agencies right now are not so great because they're focusing so much on moms and dads going into school board meetings.
Exactly.
So I'm not super, surprised about that. But it worries me that Israel is not prepared for this. I mean, Israel and America, I just feel like we should be at the top of our game with this stuff, and we're not prepared, and that makes me squirrely, you guys, really squirrely.
Yeah, it's that, and we've got a lot of commentary about that as well. Just the lack of preparedness. Why? What is the reason for it? Because that's probably the most surprising thing about this entire crap show is that it was so easy. It was so easy, and that they were caught off guard to the extent that, like, for 12 hours they were uncoordinated. The response was just completely uncoordinated, and that is really,
oh my
really
God,
scary.
It's terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. And we should all be terrified by that.
Yeah. We mentioned Mehdi Hassan. This is just an example of the kind of propaganda that you're going to hear out of people like him about what's happening.
To this.
Price. And you have to understand, when we talk about Gaza in the West, for a lot of people, it's very easy to conflate Hamas, which is a militant group that carries out acts of vicious terror, as they did this weekend, with Gaza, which is a place that contains 2.2 million people, Alex, half of them children. Half of the 2.2 million people are children, and it's one of the most densely populated places on planet Earth. You've got 2.2 million people crowded into 141 square miles. So they automatically become the victims of Israeli airstrikes because it's so crowded, because it's so densely populated. And it's basically like living, Alex, in an open-air prison.
And they chose their government.
Right.
They elected Hamas to be their government.
Amen. Amen to that.
I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, what are you doing? Wow.
Yep.
And
So
then
he's rationalizing that.
Right.
He's rationalizing that for those people. I don't like him.
No, not a fan.
I don't
at all.
Yeah, I don't like, and I don't like the rationalization either. Stop it. Stop making excuses for those people.
Well, and this is the person that you see to the right of your screen is the former information minister for Palestinians. And he is flat out openly saying that what we are seeing with our own eyes is not happening. That's the level of propaganda that is happening right now. Check this out.
But let me ask you, if that is the analogy you wish to draw, what Hamas is doing is they're targeting Israeli civilians, women, children, grandmothers.
No, they are
not. Is that not a classic terror? Isn't that classic terrorism? They're not fighting the Israeli government. They're fighting ordinary people.
That's one way of putting it, but it's not true. I think Hamas mainly attacked military establishments, military installations. And most of the people they have arrested and taken as war prisoners are military people. I do not accept attacking any civilian.
Doesn't accept it.
I do not.
Show that asshat some video. Seriously, get that guy in a room.
That?
Yeah, he doesn't accept it, you guys. Seriously, put that guy in a room and just like put his eyes open with some toothpicks and show him some nonstop video of what actually happened. What a complete douche canoe that guy is. He doesn't accept it, you guys. It's like me saying I don't accept the fact that Biden is like doing the piss poor job that he's doing. I just don't accept it. It's like every liberal that you know. I don't accept it. I don't accept what he's doing, you guys. Blah. He's not doing it. I didn't vote for him. I mean, give me a break.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
It is. It is truly remarkable.
Mark Levin is getting tired of the press referring to the terrorists as terrorists. He thinks that everybody should be calling them by their proper name, which is Nazis. And he's not wrong. Listen to this.
Stop calling them militia. Stop calling them terrorists. They are Nazis. It's an amazing thing. Our media doesn't have any problem calling Trump a Nazi.
Right.
And to support of Nazis or neo-Nazis or whatever the hell it is. But real Nazis who are slaughtering people because they're Jewish, using similar tactics.
Yep.
Reminds me of Kristallnacht, what I've seen today. No. Those are Gaza Strip militia. The media in this country is so bad, as a matter of fact. And it really is appalling.
Absolutely.
He's absolutely right. He's like 150% correct. And if you look at, like, I was telling you this morning, I saw on one woman's feed, you can see like in New York City, there's Nazi propaganda. These people who are like cheering this on, you can see there's freaking swastikas. I mean, it's like they are Nazis. You cannot dispute that. That's precisely what they are. He's 100% correct.
Maybe this will be the start of like a return to using that word in its proper context. Because I hope so. It's been misused and misappropriated for so long now. It's absolutely out of control. And he's right. I mean, that's exactly what they are. They're literally trying to exterminate Jews. That's the definition of a Nazi.
Yeah.
Some thank yous. Tanya Chaplain. Tanya says, and they're probably using all the weapons that Biden left behind. They absolutely are. They absolutely are. So many of the weapons that were left behind in Afghanistan are appearing on the bodies of Hamas Nazis. So,
and doesn't it make you sick? Like I felt sick over the weekend, physically ill, that in essence, we funded that. Yeah. In essence, like that $6 billion, we funded that. Like I mean, I physically ill, you guys. Like oh my God, it's like, that's the thing. And that's our president. In essence, you get the government you deserve, right? I mean, that's our president doing this garbage. I can't, oh my God, it makes me sick.
And the way that they've handheld Iran. It
Oh
is
my God.
so gross.
It's
And how they don't
despicable.
see, I mean, they at this point, if they don't see their complicity,
It's
I
blood on
don't
his
know what
hands.
else needs to happen for them to
Blood
see it.
on his hands. Yep.
Yeah. Leah, thank you. Leah says proportionally by population, this is equal to about 8.7 9/11s. Holy crap. That
Oh
is
my God.
horrifying.
Yeah.
Curio23 says Hamas and Iran and the like are the orthodoxic Muslims, those living in peace for the radical Muslims. Yeah, I mean, I want to be clear that we're not saying Islam as a whole is radical. We're
No.
saying there is a radical faction of Islam, and
Totally.
that radical faction is freaking batshit.
Mhm.
And Leah, again, yesterday we found 240 bodies of the young people slaughtered at that rave party in the desert. Additional bodies. There were more dead than the original reports. Oh my God. So
Oh
yeah,
my
you're going to try to
God.
tell me that was a military target? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
God.
Those like young people having fun at a music festival.
Yeah.
That guy is out of his mind.
God. And Ronna McDaniel, who is the most disgusting RNC chairwoman that has ever existed ever in the history of ever. This is what she had the absolute gall to say out loud yesterday.
Fact. And it really is appalling.
Absolutely. I think this is a great opportunity for our candidates to contrast where Republicans have stood with Israel time and time again.
President Biden had.
No, you don't say that. You
Oh my
just
God.
don't
It's a great
say that.
opportunity, you guys. She needs to resign yesterday.
What the hell?
I cannot with this one. She is awful
Oh my
in
God.
every way. God, just go away already. It's an opportunity, you guys.
It's a great opportunity for Republicans. Yay. Really? That's your
Oh my
stance.
God, just please go away and never come back.
God. And then meantime, what Biden decided to do yesterday, because this was optically perfect, Peter Ducey will let you know how Biden spent yesterday afternoon.
Had nothing to say about this on camera today. We did hear some music throughout the afternoon and the early evening coming from the south side of the White House, the area of the Rose Garden or the portico over there. And we are told that the president and the first lady were hosting a barbecue for executive residence staff. Back to you.
Well, I mean, the world's on fire. Might as well, grill something, right?
Oh my God. They
This is
couldn't
what
have
he's doing.
postponed a residence. Barbecue. They couldn't have postponed that.
No, that is classic Biden, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's just classic, but gotta go on vacation. Shit's on fire. Let's go on vacation, you guys. Woo! Let's go to the beach. Rehoboth. Let's
my
go.
God.
That's him.
Kimberly Clark, thank you. Kimberly says, I was in Washington, D.C. this weekend touring, and they are so concerned that they threw a barbecue at the White House. They're all big cooter canoes.
I swear. These people are useless. Completely useless. Everything is being total destruction around this guy.
Yeah.
And he's just having his little drink, It's just hanging out, having a steak. This is on us. We're paying for that. We're paying for this barbecue.
Yeah.
It's so classic. The optics of that, like you said, it's just so perfect. Everything about that is the Biden administration.
Yeah, in a nutshell, what were they doing? They were partying down. Of course they were. And he didn't have a public statement, as Peter Ducey said yesterday.
Yeah.
This is a time when we should have a president who is constantly in front of the camera, who is constantly telling us what's going on.
Always. Yeah, totally.
And nothing.
And what do you want to bet? Lady Gaga was there singing or something,
Right.
I mean, that would just put the cherry on top. So him.
Reminder that if you are sending your money to a cellular phone company that does not have your same interests and values at heart, you don't have to do that. You can switch to Patriot Mobile. You can still continue to enjoy fantastic service, reception, all of it from Patriot Mobile. And then part of your monthly bill, the payment that you are sending to Patriot Mobile when you switch, is going to conservative causes, the same causes that you care about, that you value. This is why making a switch makes all the sense in the entire world. They are huge supporters of our show. That's why we're huge supporters of them. And they do offer super dependable nationwide coverage. They have all 3 networks. So there is no loss in the quality of service that you get from switching. There's just a difference with what happens with your money. And that is a huge, big message that you can send simply by switching. You keep your phone number, you keep your phone if you want to, or you can upgrade. It's entirely up to you, but you can get free activation today when you use code CHICKS at patriotmobile.com/chicks, or you can call 972-PATRIOT. That's the other way to get your free activation. So again, use code CHICKS at patriotmobile.com/chicks, or call 972-PATRIOT right now. Okay, let's get into this whole idea of the intelligence failure. We've got a couple clips to share about that. The first is with George Stephanopoulos, I believe, on ABC. Then we've got an MSNBC report about it. So I'll just let those play together.
Ganyard. Steve, the big question, how could this happen? What a massive intelligence failure.
Yeah, George, there's a saying, complacency kills, and certainly complacency was part of this huge intelligence failure, but there's also deeper systemic failures that the Israelis will have to figure out. The 73 war was the only other war where they had this sort of failure, but the 73 war was very different. It was nation states, so Israel, Egypt, and it was force on force. This is Hamas, and Hamas working in small groups using personal encrypted communications, infiltrating into Israel. So very different kind of failure, but a failure that is inexcusable nonetheless.
Why do you think the global intelligence community did not see this coming? It's such a coordinated level of an offensive move by Hamas on so many different fronts. You would think that even the ramp up to this would have been something that would have been on somebody's radar.
It's quite astonishing, and there'll be plenty of investigations to find out why this is so. But you're absolutely right. There's such close cooperation between Israeli and American intelligence. You know, we cooperate to give intelligence information to Ukraine, both Israel and the United States. It is difficult to envision how Hamas could have, even over a long period of time, even quietly accumulated so many missiles from Iran, position them to attack at the ready. These kinds of things are relatively easy to detect. In addition, we have human intelligence. We don't. The Israelis have human intelligence assets inside Gaza.
I know, right? I know. It's just so frustrating.
It makes so frustrating.
And and here we are, like, I feel so, as just an American citizen, I feel helpless. Like, I feel like, okay, so what about us? Like, what happens to us? Like, say somebody attacked us. Like, we get into a position where, you know, we get into a conflict because now we've got a warship, right? That is like positioned, and then we get into some huge conflict. You guys, we're so ill-equipped at this point. You know, and then we get into this giant world war. You know, Russia and China are going to be like, we're going to take their side. We're screwed.
Oh, yeah.
We're screwed. I mean, that's because you know that's going to happen. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to inevitably it's going to happen, but if we did get involved in some world war, Russia and China would be on the other side. We've given all of our money to Ukraine. It's like,
yeah, imagine where we would be had we not.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's impossible to not ask yourself how different.
Of course. A lot of us have been asking that over the past couple of years. You know, in addition to, we've been asking, like, why are we so focused on gender crap in the military? Right. You know, I mean, it's like we feel very weak from a military perspective, just overall. I mean, there's so many different facets to that. We could have conversations about so many different prongs on, you know, when it comes to the military. Just financially, are we ready from, you know, so many different aspects in the military? And then we've been just like pouring money into Ukraine. All of us are like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Are we ready? Like, if something happens? And now all this is happening. And I'm like, okay, if somebody takes a stab at us, Are we ready to fight back? Are we, as the United States, as just a singular entity, are we ready to fight back against somebody? Are we? Can you guys answer that?
I don't know. And I don't like not knowing the answer to that.
Exactly. And then there's the whole, conversation to be had about, we've got 7 million illegals that have poured across our border. We have not vetted. Who are those people?
Yeah.
Who are those? Who are they?
This is why, even though it sounds so, pessimistic, this is why I say everybody's got to be super aware of. Do you know Israeli intelligence is openly saying to American Jews, stay out of big cities.
Right.
If you are in New York, if you are in Michigan, if you are in Florida, be hyper vigilant, because they know that that's where, they knew back when, from their older intelligence, that was those were the most likely areas for cells to exist. Who knows where those cells are now? But the fact that Israeli intelligence is openly saying that to American Jews, that should send a pretty strong message to people that we're not safe inside our own borders.
It's a disgusting message. We should never have to be saying that to people in our own country, ever. I'm sickened by that.
Yeah.
It's awful.
We're not ready. We're not ready.
No, we're not ready.
Just to give you an example of just how ridiculous our intelligence failure was, this is Jake Sullivan from within the last several days.
Last week,
this is before this weekend. And here's what he was saying about the situation in the Middle East.
What we said is we want to depressurize, de-escalate, and ultimately integrate the Middle East region. The war in Yemen is in its 19th month of truce. For now, the Iranian attacks against U.S. forces have stopped. Our presence in Iraq is stable. I emphasize for now because all of that can change.
Oh my God.
And the Middle East region is quieter today
Really?
than it has been in 2 decades.
Well, that didn't age well.
Complacency is the problem, and there is your proof of it right there.
Yeah. These people are useless. This whole administration is a complete effing joke, you guys.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable.
And then there's the money. So there has been a lot of back and forth this entire weekend about the $6 billion that the Biden administration just released to Iran for ostensibly for food and medicine and humanitarian supplies, because the Biden administration has no idea what the word fungible means, and they don't understand how it applies to money. And so we've got several videos to show you about that. We'll start off with the National Security Council's advisor to the White House trying to explain away the $6 billion.
The spokesperson, Adrienne Watson, said in a statement, quote, "Not a single cent from these funds has been spent yet. And when it is spent, it can only be spent on things like food and medicine for the Iranian people. These funds have absolutely nothing to do with the horrific attacks today. And this is not the time to spread disinformation." Hamas claims to have specifically.
I can't.
Don't spread disinformation, you guys. It's disinformation, you guys. Okay, so if you have a big bucket of money, I can't believe we have to explain this. Like you know what I mean? I'm getting a migraine just even having to think about explaining this to these freaking morons. I'm about to start cursing. I'm about to start saying all the F-bombs and everything.
I think it's appropriate.
I swear I'm going to say all the F-bombs. Okay, so if you have a big bucket of money and someone's going to give you more money to put in that big bucket of money, do you think it matters?
What's earmarked and what's not earmarked?
Nobody cares. It's like you don't say, well, this dollar's going to go to this and that dollar. It's all in one big bucket, you guys.
Right.
It doesn't these yahoos think that they are. Oh my God, I can't. It's so stupid. These people are so stupid. It's just a big giant bucket of money. You guys understand that? Everybody understands that except for these morons who think that there's a difference. Money is money is money.
Right.
It's just, oh my God.
They were already going to have $6 billion to spend on food and medicine that they already had in their little wallets. And they were like, oh man, it sucks that we can't use what's in our wallets right now to fund terrorism and buy rockets and weapons and arm our Nazis. That really sucks. Oh, the U.S. has earmarked money for food and medicine. Cool. Now we can use the money in our pocket for all the terrorist shit that we wanted to do.
Right.
That's what's happening. That's like
And
the
you know
most
what?
common sense
I'm
explanation.
gonna go on a limb. Why are we giving them any money for anything?
Well, we're releasing their own money. So it's not like this is taxpayer money that we've handed over. We stopped a freeze on their own money. So it's not quite like that, but it is still, it's the removal of a huge sanction. And that is a huge problem, because why we keep giving in and playing nice with Iran, who wants to kill us, doesn't make any sense.
We should be putting up our middle fingers all the time to Iran. All the time. As much as humanly possible, they should be getting middle fingers from us all the time. And then we should turn around, pull our pants down, and moon them.
Right.
That's what we should be doing to them all the time. Balls.
Here's John Scott's report about this whole idea of the $6 billion not being fungible. Here we go.
Regarding the money, you probably heard in Jennifer Griffin's reporting just now, the White House is saying that the $6 billion that was released to Iran as a result of that prisoner exchange, it hasn't actually reached their pockets yet. Your response?
Well, 2 points. First is oil sales and lack enforcement of sanction has given Iran unprecedented amount of access to resources already by the administration's policies and the pursuit of those policies. Second, the $6 billion sitting in Doha, for all we know, is a guarantee. And once you know something is sitting in your account, it changes the way you pursue your financial engagements. They know now that they have $6 billion waiting for them that they will be able to use and offset the cost of supporting surrogates.
Right.
So I don't think it's entirely accurate to state that that $6 billion is not going into the hands of terrorists. I think ultimately that is exactly where it's headed. But more importantly, that's a fraction of what we've already provided to the regime in Tehran.
Yeah.
That's
Fred has a really good point. He's like, we don't budget, so why would we understand? It's a great point, Fred. It's like our country's just like, what's a budget?
How does that work?
What? I don't understand. Explain to me. I don't get it. Explain it to me like Kylie Jenner.
I'm going to play just one more clip about this, because we have so much more to get to. And I wanted to play what Anthony Blinken's response was to this whole money thing.
And here we are. The reason that Hamas feels comfortable.
I think this is it. Hang on. Yes. Let me get to Anthony.
Let's wonder. Nobody respects him. And that's why these terrorist groups are reigning free right now.
Mm-hmm. Senator Marshall, thanks for joining us. Yeah, we've got war now in Europe.
What do you say about the argument that money is fungible? So Iran may have known this money is coming and used other funds to help fund this attack that happened.
Iran has unfortunately always used and focused its funds on supporting terrorism, on supporting groups like Hamas. And it's done that when there have been sanctions. It's done that when there haven't been sanctions. And it's always prioritized that. And again, I come back to the proposition that these funds have always been, under the law, available to Iran to use for humanitarian purposes.
Well, so he's just like, right. What are we doing?
Then why are we? Then just be like, we're not doing business with you. And then here's my ass. Here is my ass. I don't like why. This is why I'm not a politician, you guys, because I would be like, here's my ass. I cannot with these people.
I know. I mean, the fact that he's just like, well, I mean, they've always used it for terrorism.
I mean, they've always used it.
So then explain the decision to release $6 billion more dollars. What the hell?
Why is this hard? This is not brain surgery.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, they've always used it to torture women and children. So another woman or child being tortured.
What are we gonna do? We gotta have a barbecue. Sorry, we're very busy today.
What are you gonna do? Joe's gonna go eat some steak. What? Oh my God, not.
We got to get to some of the reaction here in North America, which is absolutely mind-blowingly terrifying. But before we do that, can we just remind people, I need you to share the flavor that you like best with people. Yes, there it is.
It's my flavor.
That is supposedly the lemon lime flavor of Field of Greens, which
more
is a green
tea.
Powder.
It's more
yes,
sweet
but
tea.
she says it tastes more like sweet tea.
So
I agree.
good.
I think that's probably right.
It's really good. Yeah.
It's really, really good. So if you are a person like me who there is no way that you're going to get the CDC recommended daily allowance of fruits and veggies, 6 cups? Are you freaking kidding me? That's not a thing. I can't do it. And so I know though that if I'm not doing that, then I'm not getting the vitamins and minerals I need from fruits and veggies. But when I have Field of Greens, I just take a scoop of that delicious green powder, add it to 8 ounces of water, shake it up, and I've got myself a yummy beverage that gives me those nutrients that I need so much that I know I'm not getting because I'm not getting enough fruits and veggies. So this is your cheat way to get fruits and veggies. It is so delicious, which would have been, that's the bar for me. If you're going to have me drink a green powder health drink, I'm sorry, but that's got to taste good. And happily, Field of Greens tastes amazing. You can get 15% off of your order at Field of Greens if you go to Fog Chicks, that's Field of Greens, fogchicks.com, fogchicks.com. Use promo code CHICKS. You'll get 15% off your order. And if you decide, which you will, because like if you try it, you'll be like, wow, this really, really tastes good. I am going to have this on the daily. You can subscribe and you'll get an additional 10% off your order when you subscribe. Again, that's fogchicks.com, fogchicks.com. You're going to love it. All right. So the reaction, actually, let me do some more thank yous really quick before we get to reaction. Alexandra, thank you. She says, I remember when liberals compared Trump to Hitler, but I think it's the left who elected the American Hitler, AKA Biden. Yeah. Leah, thank you again. She says, maybe they only gave Iran coupons for Trader Joe's.
Oh my God, it's
hysterical. That's all.
That's
it was
funny.
a gift card.
Uh-huh.
And C Noons, thank you. C Noons says their own leader said, we will spend it how we want. How any Jew can vote for Democrats after this, I do not get it.
I don't
God help
either.
Israel and us. I know.
I
This has
don't
been the
understand it
forever-long
either.
question, right?
They are lockstep with the Democrats, and I do not understand it. We have been asking that for almost 15 years. I don't get it.
It makes no sense. No sense at all. And then meanwhile, we have celebrations happening across Canada and across, unfortunately, the United States. So we'll just show you a little bit of what's going on here. For example, is Canada. Flying the Palestinian flags,
my God.
Celebrating the deaths of innocent people. This is what we got going on in Canada. This is, I mean, what the hell? Like
women and children, yay!
And then in New York City, there was a celebration, and you're going to hear from 2 different speakers, their thoughts, which are, it's going to make you sick. This is just absolutely horrendous in New York City.
We're having a great time until the resistance came in electrified hang gliders and took at least several dozen hipsters.
Oh my
And
God.
I'm sure they're doing very fine despite what the New York Post says.
What?
Oh
the
my God. And that was about the music festival.
Right. They took
I'm
some
sure-
hipsters, but I'm sure they're fine.
I'm sure they're fine. What a
believe
piece
the
of
New York
crap
Post.
that guy is. Oh my God.
This is New York City, you guys.
Then you know what? If you think they're doing fine, then go there. Go. You guys, seriously, go back and live. It's like, I cannot, like this guy. And would you feel safe if your, I don't know, wife or your child were there? Would you
If
feel
that's
safe?
your neighbor?
Yeah. I cannot with this guy. I'm sure they're fine.
Yeah, I'm sure they're fine. Don't believe the New York Post. They're fine. They just kidnapped a couple of hipsters. It's fine. It's all fine.
I mean,
And
they're
at
just
the same-
hipsters.
Yeah, I mean,
What-
it's totally expendable.
What a piece of crap.
And here's
So gross.
another speaker from that same rally.
Long live Palestine. Thank you all for being here, for raising your voices to celebrate the glorious victory of the resistance. And to honor our martyrs, and for marching to show those here in the heart of the empire that they will never defeat our struggle. They have failed to break the unity of our people. And they have failed to dampen the revolutionary spirit of our people who grow stronger every day.
Oh my God, there are women being kidnapped. This is outrageous. I just cannot.
It's just so disheartening. There was at Harvard, 31 different student organizations at Harvard put out a statement joyfully celebrating this entire weekend.
Gross.
I mean,
Absolutely
it just makes
disgusting.
me sick to my stomach.
Disgusting.
How are these are American, ostensibly these are American kids who've already been taught to hate their own existence. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
To hate Jewish people? To hate, that's in essence what these are American kids who are basically Nazis.
Yeah.
And then they'll turn around and say Trump is a Nazi. They'll turn around and say to everybody here in the comment section, "You're a Nazi."
Mm-hmm.
Really? Because actually you are.
Yeah.
If you understand what the definition is, and you got into Harvard, what the hell? I mean, it's so backwards. It's unbelievable to me.
I mean, the university system, especially at the Ivy Leagues, are broken. I mean, they are broken beyond repair. The fact that that's 30 student organizations and each one of those organizations represents a pretty sizable group of kids.
Yeah.
That's
a lot. It's a lot of kids. Mm-hmm.
And then, like we said earlier, we talked about like the radical factions of Islam who are just hell-bent on taking over the world. Here's an example, again, right in New York City.
We're done being tortured and hurt and judged.
How many?
This is the correct religion. This is the religion that all of humanity needs to be upon, of Islam. And we will not stop until it enters every home. So I want you to repeat after me. I want to hear it in every single district. It should tremble. Brooklyn should hear it. The Bronx should hear it. Queens should hear it. Say it as if the Ummah depends on this, my brothers and sisters. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Muhammadan Rasulullah. There is no God worthy of worship except Allah, the God of Jesus, the God of Moses, the God of Abraham, and the God of the last and final prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
New York City.
Oh my God.
Did you see and hear the number of people?
Yep. There's a lot of people out there, you guys. A lot of people. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, that is.
Yep. And that is in response to what happened this weekend. That is in response to the absolute sheer horror and the terror and the murdering that happened of women and children and elderly people that happened this weekend. That's what that guy was doing. He's doing all that in response to that this weekend. It's not like that was just spontaneous, like 3 weeks ago or, 10 weeks ago or whatever. That was in response to what happened this weekend. So just keep that in mind. A lot of people there. A lot of people.
God, there were a lot of people cheering and oh my God.
And the reason I say that is because at the beginning of this broadcast, you said, I feel like there's going to be another terror attack probably within the next, couple months.
I mean, that's that huge crowd that you just heard and saw. If that guy would have said death to Israel, death to America right then, and perhaps he even did, there would have been cheering by Americans. Like, what the F?
Mm-hmm.
That makes, wow, I can't.
Right. Right.
That is freaking crazy. All right. There are other things going on in the world. And so we're just going to get to a couple of them because we got to change the subject. Like we stand with Israel, period. Amen. The
totally.
End.
Without question.
So,
yeah. And listen, and if you don't, then you may want to find some other people to follow.
Yeah. For real. Cause
Mm-hmm.
We still don't have a speaker. And so the worst possible time that we could not have a Speaker of the House is pretty much right now. And we don't have one. And so today was supposed to be the day that there was going to be, or not even today, tomorrow. Well, no, I think today there was going to be a meeting about the potential nominees. Right now we know it's Scalise and Jim Jordan are the two people whose names are like serious contenders. I think there are some people that are still throwing around Trump's name as a potential, which, as we said last week, is utterly ridiculous. Here is Representative Ken Buck responding to George Stephanopoulos asking about that and his response.
of your colleagues, several dozen of your colleagues, suggesting maybe he even should be thought of for Speaker of the House right now.
That's not going to happen.
Should it happen?
No, it shouldn't happen. And you know, we have a lot of talent inside the House. We'll settle this inside the House Republican Conference, and we will elect someone that'll have the unity and the backing of the full conference.
Do you think that this will help? Like, do you think that now there's some, I mean, I know that there was going to be a government shutdown and whatever, 30 plus days anyway, and that wasn't giving people enough of an impetus to get their asses in gear. Do you think this will help? Like the fact that now it's urgent, that there will be more Republicans, for example, ready to rally around someone and unify?
Because time is of the essence.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I'd like to say yes, but everything is so borked, as you would say.
Yeah.
And people are, with normal people, I'd say yes, absolutely, Mock. But because we're dealing with who we're dealing with, and everything is just, these people are so crazy that I'm going to say yes, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
I would hope so.
And that's Ken Buck, by the way. Here's how he thinks this process should go.
What happens if the House Republicans cannot agree on a candidate by midweek?
Well, then we'll agree on a candidate by the end of the week, or we'll agree on a candidate over the weekend. I think we lock the doors and we have very limited bathroom breaks and food breaks, and make sure we get the job done.
I'm down. If everybody needs to wear diapers. No one's allowed to leave the room until they come to a consensus. Let's get this shit done.
I'm totally down with that too. Yeah. And they should. They totally should do that. They kind of owe it to us to do that.
Yeah, they owe it to the world at this point, because literally nothing can get done until they have a speaker.
Right.
Elizabeth Boyer, thank you. Elizabeth says, I've been saying forever that all of Islam is insane and wants us dead. No moderates, just sleeper cells. Maybe now people will wake the F up.
You know, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, I told Mock before we got on, like, I think that, and I don't know if maybe this is not appropriate to say out loud, but I'm going to say it anyway. But I feel like I had a friend tell me years ago that a lot of, and it's not all of Islam. I guess there are people in Islam that are very nice, peaceful people, I guess. Because we've known a couple people that practice Islam, I guess, and they do it peacefully. But I think that the people who are, dead set on destroying us, they will wait 100 years. They are playing the long game. And I do think that they will come here and they will live amongst us and they will wait. And I heard her say that to me once, and it stuck with me. Like it haunts me a little bit, because now that all this stuff is happening, it worries me, because there are a lot of those very hateful people living in our country, like the ones we just saw in that video. And that worries me, because they do play the long game and they do want us to be gone, and they're here.
And it's generational. Like they make sure from the time they have babies that those babies are taught to hate.
And that is a worry for me. So it is that they are playing the long game, and they will wait 100 years. And it's like, damn. So it's happening.
And it's kind of like, that's the thing, is like you want to believe that there are lots and lots of practicing Muslims who are peaceful. But my view is they're not practicing their religion correctly. They're not practicing it the way that it's actually meant to be. And so that's nice that they practice like a really peaceful, sort of tame version of their religion, but they are not doing it right. You know what I mean?
I totally agree with you.
For them, but in the end, what their religion preaches is
hate.
Full on hatred. And
it's hate.
That is not okay.
I agree 100%.
All right. One more little round of videos before we get to whack. And that is on the economy. So Biden was asked, I believe this was Saturday or perhaps even Friday, what's going on with the messaging? I mean, if you look at some economic indicators, they would seem to suggest that there are good things happening in the economy. Why isn't that message translating to Americans? Biden answered with some analogy that you're going to have to help me unpack and untangle. Here he is.
No, here we go.
You started your remarks here today by saying it was good news today with the economic report. Why do you think most people still don't feel positive or feel good news about the economy?
Well, first of all, you just heard the news today, too. They haven't heard it. I think the people, those 300+ thousand people who got jobs, feel better about the economy. Look, I got to choose my words here. You all are not the happiest people in the world.
What?
What you report. And I mean it sincerely. It gets you get more legs when you're reporting something that's negative. I don't mean you're picking on me. I'm just the nature of things. You turn on the television, and there's not a whole lot about boy saves dog as he swims in the lake. To say it's about somebody pushed the dog in the lake. I mean I get it, but if you just listen to what's going on around the world.
Okay, so I think what he was trying to say is it's not about the boy saving the dog in the lake.
Right.
It's that basically what he's saying is you guys are negative. That's what he was trying. I think he was trying to say that the news people are very negative. Is what he was trying to say, but he was doing it poorly because he's Joe Biden and he has dementia. That's what he was doing, and he's just world. He just needs to go away. I'm so sick of him. I'm sick of everybody. God.
Well, and I get he's right about if it bleeds, it leads. I get that that's a thing, but to suggest that the media is only reporting the bad sides of things, they don't have to. We're all living the prices that we're paying at the grocery store, at the gas pump, for housing, for rent, for all of it. We don't need a news report about that. We are living it.
Yes, because everything is bleeding.
Right.
Everything is bleeding and everything is on fire. And it's because of you, Joe, and your stupid administration and all the bad decisions that Obama is making you make. That's why.
Exactly.
So stop it. Just go away already. Over.
And then at the same time, Kamala is insisting that the economic policy of the Biden-Harris administration is, to quote her, popular, popular, popular.
Giggle, giggle.
Giggle, giggle. And if you don't believe me, that's exactly what she said. Here she is.
Popular, popular, popular. We just need to let everybody know who brought it to them. Receipts. Amen. That's doable.
Why is she the way she is?
These people are so high.
Oh my God.
I mean, they are just smoking crack, all of them. They've all got Hunter's crack. I swear.
It's true. We also have, just out of nowhere and apropos of absolutely nothing, a clip, I think from the weekend, of Trump talking about Hannibal Lecter. And I don't know the context. All I know is that this is another example of Trump deciding who he likes based on who likes him. So if you are a person who says something nice about Donald Trump, then you're in the Trump, you are loved by Trump. It has nothing to do with anything objective. It has nothing to do with policy or standpoints or ideas. It has to do on whether or not you compliment him. That is what he cares about. You can fight me on that. Here is the proof.
Why? Because that's a vicious thing. I said that's Silence of the Lamb. You know what that is? Has anybody seen Silence of the Lambs? Hannibal Lecter. How great an actor was he? You know why I like him? Because he said on television, on one of the, I love Donald Trump, so I love him. I love him. I love him. He said that a long time ago, and once he said that, he was in my camp. I was in his camp. Yeah, I don't care if he was the worst actor. I'd say he was great to me.
I mean, I don't know.
I know. I can't.
Nothing else needs to be said.
I can't defend it. I just can't.
I think today is the day, right? That RFK is announcing his independent run. I think that's happening today.
Yeah.
So we will be watching out for that. And
that's going to be,
we'll have that for tomorrow's show for sure.
That's going to be interesting.
It's going to be.
He's going to pull people from
very
both sides.
interesting.
Yeah, that's going to be very, very interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be. He's going to be such a wild card in this election. I mean, wow.
He's going to be the jacked up kangaroo that pulls people from both sides. That guy. He's such a jacked up kangaroo.
He is a jacked up kangaroo, man.
Every time I see him, I'm like, God, he's a kangaroo on a lot of stuff. He's just jacked up.
All right, it is time for your whack.
Okay, I got to open it up. You guys, as if everything is not borked enough, there is now a college degree for being an influencer.
What are you even saying? What are the classes for that?
So it's available. Well, they already have some classes at like some big universities like USC, Cornell, Duke, and Chapman.
Cornell?
Cornell they have influencer strategy, business, and communication courses.
Oh my God.
They have that. Yeah, Cornell. You can tell your dad that. Didn't your dad got his graduate degree, his PhD at Cornell. Right. But now there's an actual degree, which you know that once you have one, they're going to have them all over the country. But this is in Ireland. Okay. And it's at Southeast Technological University in Carlow, Ireland. And they already offered a digital hustle crash course, a summer crash course taught by viral TikTokers and field experts. And people, like kids, were just like flocking. They were dying to get into this class. And so they thought, well, we're gonna offer a major in this. So now they have a major in it. And it's influencer strategy. And so this is the thing now. They say that the influencer marketing industry is valued at more than $21 billion. Wow. So this is the thing. And coupled with the rise of influencer culture, they say that chronically online youngsters see the entrepreneurial job title as an attainable prospect. This is what they want to do now. Gen Zers, they believe that they could easily make a career out of this. It's all about content creation and digital product pushing. And this is what they want to be. They want to be like Girl. This is what they want to do. They want to be influencing marketers. This is what they want to do. They don't want to be doctors and lawyers anymore. They don't want to be like veterinarians or engineers. They want to be influencers, you guys.
Oh my God.
They just want to be glued to their phones all day. Come on.
Wow.
So this is the thing. And I guarantee you, listen, they have this one in Ireland and we can laugh at it. We can make fun of it. But I feel like this is going to be in America like that. By next year, you're going to start seeing degree programs in this.
Well, you said already they're at Cornell and elsewhere. Right?
They have, it's courses. There are courses there.
Oh, okay. Not degree programs.
Not degree programs. But the first actual like major is in Ireland. And I guarantee you by next year, you're going to see degree programs here. If they have the courses at Cornell and places in USC and places like that, they will have a degree program. I guarantee you by next year. So coming to an America near you. This is
great.
happening.
That's just what we needed. Yay.
Yeah. So it's just, I mean, this is, what's that movie where everybody
Idiocracy?
Yeah. This is Idiocracy.
Yep.
You knew
we're
exactly
living
what I
it.
meant. We're living it. We already are living it. So this is happening. I know it's just, oh my God. So I thought that was completely whack. We're screwed.
Freaking whack. Yeah, for sure. Ina Richards, thank you. She says, Iran president's speech at United Nations terrified me last month. I feel like it was a warning that nobody took seriously. Yeah, you're probably right about that. Elizabeth Boyer, thank you. Elizabeth says, I've been saying forever that all of Islam is insane and wants us dead. No moderates in Islam, just sleeper cells. Maybe now people will wake TF up. I think I read that one. Maybe I just skipped or went out of order. Thank you. Marcus Drake, thank you. The Quran is taken from the Old Testament, which is taken from the Torah. So they're following Christian and Jewish teachings with the addition of calling for death to Christian and Jews. And Shelley, thank you. Shelley says, Golda Meir said, we will have peace when they love their children more than they hate us. Yeah. Oh, God. All right. You guys, normally this would be the time that we do MyPillow Talks, and we should remind you that there are still great sales on the 6-piece towel set from MyPillow. You know, here at this Airbnb that we're staying in, they have like these super thick, like hotel quality towels. Like they are so fat. Yes, I don't like them. I know I'm supposed to, But I
hate 'em?
don't. I just don't. There are no towels like MyPillow towels,
They
which are
all
the
need to,
perfect
yeah.
thickness, the perfect amount of thirstiness. They are perfect. I just don't.
I
I
put
don't
my
like
pillow
any of
towels.
these.
I put my pillow towels in our cabin. This is what I do, and everybody loves them. I'm just saying, you have to do that. My pillow towels are the best.
They
They're very
are, and
thirsty.
they're very thirsty, and they're half off right now when you use code CHICKS at mypillow.com/chicks. Use code CHICKS, you're going to get them for just $39.99. They're normally double that. So get your towels and get your discounts on other fantastic MyPillow products at mypillow.com/chicks. Now, I said normally we would show you talks, which is true, but because I'm away and I don't have my dual screens, it's very difficult for me to do that easily. So I am going to show you a couple, and if it works, then I can show you like a couple more. But I thought we would start out with that that hilarious Gen Xer, who's so good at describing why we are also badass compared to like younger generations.
Yeah.
One of the examples she gives, which I thought was so perfect, is about bottled water. Because do you remember even drinking water as a child?
No. Everybody's like, I have to have my like gigantic Stanley thing.
Right.
Or I'm going to die of dehydration. It's like, seriously, every girl carries that crap around. I'm just like, oh my God.
So here she is. She's so perfect at this. And I will hopefully, let me try to get the microphone and her close to you. I know this is not ideal, but we're going to try it.
If you grew up in Generation X, you have no recollection of drinking water. You could not go to the store in the 70s or 80s and buy a bottle of water. No, nobody would pay for water. Our parents giving us water, not a thing at all.
No.
To put it simply, we were some of the most dehydrated motherfuckers on the planet. Our classrooms were not air conditioned. It would be hot as balls. There were so many teachers that would just bring a fan and it would just point at them. They were like, fuck them kids. Trying not to die of heat stroke because there's no air conditioning in these big brick buildings. You go down to lunch and they give you this little 8-ounce carton of milk that we would suck down till it like crumpled. Time to go to recess, and we would go out and play on this like black asphalt with like no shade. After recess, we would all line up and get a drink at the drinking fountain, but the asshole kids behind you would all count. Like each kid had 2 seconds. You'd be like 1, 2, and then on to the next one. All the dietitians and healthy people today are like, drink your water. You need so many ounces a day. And I'm like, shit. We probably drink about 4 teaspoons of water a day. I'm not exaggerating.
It's so true. It is so freaking true. Oh my God. Oh God. Harley Cat said we drank from the garden hose. We did.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Totally
And it was
did.
delicious. It was delicious. And not at all scary.
There'd be a little bit of grass in there. You have to pick out of your teeth. Yeah. It's fine.
Couple
it's good
bugs.
For you.
It's fine.
Right.
It's protein.
Uh-huh.
Karen Cirincione. I love that name. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I like the way it looks. I just really like it. Thank you, Karen. Karen says some good news. It's OCD Awareness Week, and my daughter Leah's OCD children's book was just published on Amazon yesterday. She wants to help other kids who are suffering with OCD. OCD, Leave Me Be. That must be the name of the book.
Okay.
So if you guys have someone with OCD in your life, check that out for sure. All right. You know that I love me some wildlife safaris, the car kind, the like in-person encounters kind, whatever it takes for me to interact with wildlife. I'm all about it. This is not news. But there are some kids who are not quite as fearless as I am when it comes to the kind that you do in your car, the drive-through safaris, which I know you've done a lot of. These kids, utterly terrified and probably scarred for life from their experience. I died laughing at this.
Oh my God. Oh my God, they're all so upset.
And it's just like one of those, it's like one of those
an emu. Listen, emus are terrifying. They're like the birds from hell. They really are. They're like Satan birds.
Oh my God. I just love that.
But the kids are also upset. They paid for that.
And like whoever is filming is totally laughing.
The
and
mom
is filming, like actually prepare your kid for the safari and tell them they are fine. That the emu is not going to eat off their face. It's fine. Everything's fine.
The mom must have been really pissed about something. And she's like, just deal with it, kids. Yeah. The parents are laughing. Sorry. What did I say earlier about how soft this generation is? Seriously.
Right? They can't deal with an emu. Come on.
I know. If they can't deal with an emu, I mean, come on. And you know that there are people in the comments going, "This is terrible. This is child abuse.
Cruelty.
This is child abuse."
No, it isn't. They're
I
fine.
mean,
The kids are
I
fine.
always go straight to the comments, and every time I see stuff like this, I'm just like, "Oh my god, I hate like this generation. we're not going to make it, you guys. We're not."
And then to finish off for talks for today, we're going to have something happy, and that is a dog's birthday. And this dog helps sing his own little birthday song.
Happy birthday to
Oh, he's so.
Happy birthday to Happy birthday, dear mom.
Oh my
Happy
god.
birthday to
Oh my god, I love him.
Isn't that the most
so
precious?
fluffy too.
So fluffy. I know.
Just want to eat his face off. He's so cute. so cute.
Anyway,
okay,
sorry for the weird talks, but that's how we
Astrid's
have
not
to
in
do it.
here. Do I need to get her? I'll get her.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, hold on.
Everybody needs her today, like extra, right? Like we all deserve a post-weekend flap after this weekend. There's no question about it. She has to perform. Here she is.
Coda may come in here too because Gwendy doesn't have school. So
Ooh, okay. Oh my God, she's already flapping. She's
already
ready
flapped.
to go.
She flapped already. Shouldn't even. I wonder if Coda's coming.
Coda's gonna come like hurling himself.
I know, he's totally gonna hurl and oh god, oh no. Come here, buddy. Come here. Okay, there he is. There's a big Coda head. You guys see Coda?
You need to train him on the flappularity. Like, can you try to blow in his face or something?
He is not trained to do anything except destroy stuff. That's all he knows how to do is destroy everything in his path. He's like he barrels through, you guys. He's crazy. I don't know what he's eating. What are you eating? Oh, okay. Oh, God, my husband just had a stick. Thank God, because he eats everything. It's like probably the most used sentence in my house is "What's in your mouth?" Constantly, that's all I say all day long. What's in your mouth? Oh my god! And I have to open up, and then sometimes his big jaws. I have to put my foot down and clamp his jaws open just to see what's in his. I mean, it's always you guys every single day. Anyway, I hope you have fun today doing all your.
It's
cabinet
not going to be
stuff.
fun, but thank you. And if you are in the Beaufort area and you see me, please say hi. I don't mind it at all. In fact, I like it. So
I know. We always love that. And some people won't say hi. Some people will be like, "Oh, I saw you and I didn't say hi." You should always say hi. Definitely say hi to Mock today.
Always
Everybody bring it in. Bring it in. You guys have a fabulous Monday. I know things kind of suck right now, but try to have like a really good day,
Yeah.
It's going to be fine. It's all going to be fine. Plus we all have each other, right?
That's right. We'll be okay. It's going to be okay.
Everything's going to be great.
All right.
Have a wonderful day and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.